Okay, so when I put my car together about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I got the i.a.g TGVs. They're the version 2. So this is like right before they came out with all the version 3 shit. Like even my air oil separator is the version 2. Like like literally the next month they came out with the V3 of that, if I remember right. And then like they had the V3 out of those, but I didn't like the way it looked with it all like where it's drilled out in the middle and it's all super open. You got to use that extra clippy thing on the top. So I was able to get a set of the old V2s in the clearance section because it was grade 9 or something like that damage. So I got like $50 off of them. But they're completely functional. And the gasket that came with them is really weird. It was like this. See how rubbery that is? It's literally like a rubber gasket. And the o.e.m ones that I had from the o.e.m kit is like a felt almost. That's a multi-layer. Well, not multi-layer. It's a single layer metal gasket in there with felt on either side. And I was like, well, why use that when I can use the i.a.g ones? They must be better. Well, as you can see, this thing split apart. It was, even though I used the marks to line everything up, mind you, this has already been in the car and taken out, so I didn't give a shit when I took it out. But it ended up splitting, and you can see how it didn't line up in the bore properly. And so, even though I had a good set of o.e.m ones that I could use, I decided to go with the grimmspeed ones. And I got the TGV ones, and I got the intake manifold, the TGV. I also got the throttle body gasket because this thing was old and dirty and I wanted to tear it apart and clean it up. Plus, like, these things, they're turbo oil, right? But this thing was all super sticky and gooey, and but that side lined up all right and it wasn't leaking at all. It was just this side, which is really weird. So I put the grimmspeed ones in today, and I mean, if you pay attention, look how thick that shit is. Like, those are super thick compared to the old ones. And these are not, like the 3 millimeter spacing ones or anything like that. These are just normal gaskets. If you look at those numbers up that I showed you on the paper, you'll see they're just the normal gaskets. There's nothing special about them, other than they're made by Grimmspeed. So we're going to run these and see how they do, but hopefully these Grimmspeed ones hold the boost a little bit better. Because I don't know if that split because it was misaligned in the bore where the holes were and everything, and the pressure going by it finally just tore it and shot it out the side, because that's exactly what happened when I was doing my leak down test. It was pushing so much air by right here that when I shot my soapy water mixture onto it, it didn't even touch the manifold. It just fucking shot all over the shock tower. So the car's almost back together. I just got a few more things to put on, and then I'm going to start it up. We're going to run her and see how she does. But I figure I'd give you guys a little show. Those Grimmspeed gaskets, I think by far at least look-wise, they're a little bit thicker, so you get a little more of a mash, right? And the bottoms are supposed to be torqued. So like TGV to motor is supposed to be torqued to 18.4 foot-pounds. Intake to TGV is like 6.1 foot-pounds. So there's not a lot of torque going on there, right? Like, you're going to feel like you can give it more, but just like, I double checked it. I've got 2 torque wrenches here, and I made sure that I did not over torque these this go around and everything. Last time I just used this one. That's like a $500 torque wrench. I went out and bought that one just to double check and make sure that my British torque wrench. God, who is this made by again? I forget. It's been so long since I got it. What does that say? Brit Tool, England. EVT 360R. So I made sure that, double checked it that they were still working right and everything. Not over torquing shit on me. So, yeah. There we go. Just got to put a couple more things in. And we are back to running methanol.